Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new box office breakdown show here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinenberg. Today, we're going to break down this past weekend's domestic box office, which was from May 12th to May 14th. We're going to look ahead to this upcoming week in theaters, which is headlined by Fast X. We're also going to break down the 2023 domestic and worldwide numbers so far this year. Welcome back to another box office breakdown show here on Max Talks Movies. I'm Max Dinenberg. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings in this show weekly. So please subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when those videos drop. We're climbing to 100 now, 60 subscribers. Let's get there as quickly as possible. Another big way to help that out is to like the video. The thumbs up button down below really helps support this channel. So if you're watching this right now, just please hit that thumbs up button. Helps the algorithm out so more people can check out this video. And comment down below, what did you see this past weekend in theaters? What do you see this upcoming weekend in theaters? What are your thoughts on the Guardians of the Galaxy box office? Is it sustainable for the next month or two? Let me know in the comment section down below. So without further ado, let's just get into this past weekend's box office, where we kind of talked about what it would be an interesting second weekend for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 with really no competition before we get into the big movies coming out the remainder of the month. And so it had a great weekend in the theaters as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is number one here at the box office, getting $62 million, which was only a 48% drop in its second weekend. This is an absolute huge success for Guardians. This is the third lowest second weekend drop in the history of the MCU, which is now 32 movies. Only Black Panther, which is the lowest second weekend drop of all time, which is 45%, and the first Thor at 47% were lower than this. This just beat out the first Doctor Strange, which was 49%, and the first Avengers film, which was 50%, but 48%, a great number. Another 62 million for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and it's now up to 214.7 domestic. We're going to talk about how it's already surpassed Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, both domestically and worldwide in just 2 weekends. It's already been now Ant-Man and the Wasp in just its 2 weekends compared to Ant-Man's entire run. So a big, much-needed victory for Marvel. And what I'll say about this movie is that a lot of people have been talking about Marvel fatigue. But I think right now in the superhero space, there's just a lot of mediocre fatigue. I think a lot of people are tired of these superhero movies that just aren't very good. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of great superhero movies because there's so many superhero films. Even when there's 1 or 2 great ones, they're compounded by 5 or 6 average to bad ones. And you can tell that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, I think, made a lot of people nervous about the box office, and really Thor: Love and Thunder as well, the box office leading into this movie. But word of mouth matters, and critics and audiences seem to really be eating up this movie, especially audiences which have really supported this film. And while, yes, it had no competition this weekend, this is still an unbelievable drop. I think a lot of people were expecting in that 55 to 60%. Again, most of these big blockbusters drop in that 55 to really 75% range, 70% range. But Guardians going under 50 to 48% is a huge success for Disney, for James Gunn. Marvel needed a win because, again, this is only their second of 3 films coming out this year, with the Marvels coming out in November, which people are not expecting to hit very good. So, again, Guardians could do better depending on the fan reception for both Fast X and Little Mermaid. But still, big, big win for Marvel and Disney. Continuing up their success is Illumination and Universal, with in its 6th week now in the top 5. Super Mario Brothers is at number 2 for its 2nd consecutive week, with another 12.6 million domestically, 32% drop off in its 6th weekend, just unbelievable. And now up to 535.5 million domestic, just big time numbers for the Super Mario Brothers. It won't be a top 10 movie of all time, both worldwide or domestic, but still a huge success, especially for an animated movie. Also, this movie will be hitting digital today, so it's already hit digital, so you can buy or rent it for like 20. Buy it for $25 and rent it for around $20. So we'll see if that it gives Super Mario Brothers a big dip at the box office. But for 6 weekends, just a huge success. No matter what, Illumination now has a franchise for years and years to come with Nintendo and Super Mario Brothers. The only new film to get into the top 5 this past weekend was at number 3, which was from Focus Features, which was Book Club: The Next Chapter, the sequel to a film that came out right 2019 before the pandemic. $6.67 million for Book Club: The Next Chapter. Again, these are the type of movies that are, you know, sadly or not, whatever you want to feel about it, are just not things that people are buying for themselves to see in a movie theater. These are the type of films, especially this type of movie, that is very much streaming, feels like a streaming movie, or feels like a movie that you could probably just rent on digital. And it showed, again, these type of movie-going audiences haven't been the people who have been coming out to the box office a lot. And also, Book Club: The Next Chapter has a B cinema score, which is really bad. So even the people who saw it aren't liking it. So even I think if maybe those people were enjoying the film, they might take their friends this weekend. But due to the really bad reception for the movie, I don't think this will hold up much in the top 5 for weeks to come. In 4th place, though, in its 4th weekend, is Evil Dead Rise, still doing well, even though it was available this a week ago on digital to buy or rent. It was Evil Dead Rise at 3.7, only dropped 37%. It's now up to 60.1. Another big win for Warner Brothers Discovery, which, again, another studio that needed it after the bad success that Shazam! Fury of God kind of opened the year for them with. But Evil Dead Rise, as I said, was available on digital for the whole week. So even heading to the weekend, people could have stayed at home and watched this. So you can see that even digital films that get released will hang in the top 5, which I think is a good sign moving forward for the Super Mario Brothers movie. And wrapping up the top 5, I think a lot of people are shocked this is still in the top 5, is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret from Lionsgate. At 2.5, 22% drop. It did lose nearly 1,000 theaters this past weekend, but still up to $16.4 million. Domestically, other new releases, by the way, included Hypnotic, which was just missed out in the top 5, getting $2.4 million. Hypnotic is a movie that is directed by Robert Rodriguez and starring Ben Affleck, is the lowest opening weekend for any movie directed by Robert Rodriguez and any movie starring Ben Affleck. So headline-wise, not a good weekend for either Robert Rodriguez or Ben Affleck. We hit the domestic charts so far this year. The Super Mario Brothers movie is still number 1 with 536 million domestically. It will be number 1 for quite some time as of now. But wrapping up the top 10 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is already at 219.8 million domestic, comparing to number 3, which is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania's 214.1. So Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania's entire domestic run got them to 214 million, while in 2 weeks, in 2 weekends, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has already surpassed it. So just shows you how much of a dud and bomb that was for Marvel and Disney to begin the year. John Wick Chapter 4 is sitting at number 4 with 183 million. Creed 3 sitting at 156. Scream 6 sitting at 108. Those are the 6 films so far to reach over 100 million domestic. I think the next 2 movies coming out could also reach that point. We shall, I think they probably both will in its opening weekend. So we could be up to at least 8 by the end of the month. Megan, wrapping up the top 10 that's not in the $100 million club is Megan, Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, Cocaine Bear, and A Man Called Otto. Super Mario Brothers movie, still the biggest movie of the year, the only $1 billion film so far in 2023. 1.2 billion for the Super Mario Brothers movie. 2 Chinese films follow at 2 and 3, followed by Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in just 2 weeks. Is at number 4 worldwide, 535 worldwide. That's, as I said, 219 domestically, but a big boost internationally, 315 internationally for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So it really probably will get to at least number 3 by next weekend here on the worldwide charts. As I said, it's already passed Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania's entire worldwide run, as Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania finished up with 463.3. So Guardians has well overlapped them in just 2 weeks. John Wick Chapter 4 is number 6 worldwide, 419 worldwide for that movie. Creed 3 getting to 272. A Chinese film, number 8. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, number 9. We have 205.7, and then Scream 6 wrapping up with 168. So that is this past week's box office. Another big movie coming out this upcoming weekend, which is the new installment of the Fast and Furious franchise, Fast X, which has been very beneficial for Universal. It's supposed to open really big this upcoming weekend domestically. We will see, as Universal's already had a mega winner in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, is looking to get another film at least close to the $1 billion club as Fast X, the 10th film, unbelievably, the 10th film in the Fast and Furious franchise, does hit theaters this upcoming weekend before Little Mermaid hits theaters the week after, wrapping up the month of May. So we'll break down next week. This upcoming week here on the channel. You'll get my Fast X review this upcoming Friday. And then back here on Monday, you'll get my overall box office breakdown show again. We'll break down Fast X, Guardians, more things to come on the channel. See you guys.